This morning we're going to hear from the rest of the Ocular Melanoma UK team. Just let you know a little bit about what we do, how we do it, and that's pretty much it really. And then we will hear from one of our speakers. So we've got the lovely Michelle Deans that's going to join us. And and I know somebody wants a Mexican wave, but I can't remember who that was. So, just thank you again for coming. I probably should do some health and safety kind of stuff as a recap from yesterday. So we're not due a fire drill today. Apologies if you were at the Hilton last night, because I heard the... Fantastic. It was yesterday's talk. It all helped. So if we do hear an alarm, we've got some fire exits, actually really nicely signposted. So we can come out of this door, that door, and then these doors sort of down the stairs and straight outside. But just follow the masses, I think would be the key, and leave stuff behind because it's not important. So if you weren't able to join us yesterday but you're here today, just welcome. I'm Jo from Ocular Melanoma UK, and my incredible team. We have Matt, who covers our helpline and just supports people on the phone and by email. And then we've got Alex, who joined us in May, came to us as our fundraising manager and quickly became fundraising / marketing person, just because he's got a lot of strings to his bow that we needed. So thanks to these guys and also Jamie, who's in the room, we've been able to do a very, very quick rebrand of our charity. We've been talking for a little while about moving to Ocular Melanoma UK, so losing the name Ocumel, because we felt that really, when people see our name out there, then they actually know exactly what it means. It's kind of, Ocumel was a really special name, I think, to all of us here. Felt connected. So we're still all very connected as OMEs and OMUK members. But I think just to the general public, it will help us a lot about getting this rare disease in the public eye, excuse the pun, and so that people would instantly know. And then I think, it will help people come forward and maybe, hopefully make them less sort of apprehensive or scared about approaching us. They'll see us as a proper organisation. So we finally managed to get that domain, omuk.org, so it was nice and easy to type. That became available, and the moment that did, it kind of kickstarted this very quick process where we could actually change our domain name to omuk.org. We could finally have some email accounts that didn't say .info at the end. So all of that change has happened in the last, 3-4 months. If that, all went through sort of Charities Commission and Companies House a lot quicker than we thought it would. So in hindsight, changing the name, building a website, because then Alex and Jamie sort of helped so much, planning a conference, and probably whatever else we've done was probably a bit silly in hindsight to try and do that all at the same time. But we pulled it off. I think, hopefully you all here today are having a good time and it's been useful. So if that's the case, then it's absolutely been worthwhile. The next change that we're probably going to go to, so we were going to do our AGM this morning, and there wasn't enough time to sort of plan that and do the AGM justice. So you will get an invite out in the next month, well, definitely in the next month, because it needs to be held within 14 months, inviting you to our AGM. So we'll just do that online. It will just be a dial-up meeting. It would be brilliant if loads of you can sort of come and hear officially all the sort of stats around the charity and what we've been doing. That would be really good. And I'm thinking at the moment, kind of when we've formed, at that point you would form as a company with Companies House, and then you would apply to become an actual charities with the Charities Commission. Now you have something called CIOs and CICs, which is an easier way for charities to sort of come on board. And I think back then they started, but it was very new. It was very, just thought, let's see how that pans out first. And actually it's become a good structure that people now just opt for, rather than sort of registering with the Companies House side of things. So I think at the AGM we'll be asking people to vote whether actually that would be a good thing. So it just means that we only have to do the administration side to Companies House, to the Charities Commission, rather than to the Charities Commission and the Companies House. So it just saves a bit of admin stuff that kind of brings no benefit to us really. So just allows us to streamline the process. So we keep our charity name, we keep our charity number, which is really important. Obviously we'll be doing that in the new name. So yeah, we'll be asking people to let us know their thoughts on that once we do the AGM, and then we'll kick off that process. But we'll recover first, so we won't do that just yet. So I'm going to stop and pass you over to Matt so that he can sort of say a few words about kind of his role and the work that he's involved in, and then you can hear from Alex quickly. So thank you.
Thank you, Jo. Can everyone hear me all right? Perfect. So I haven't prepared a presentation for you this morning. I was hoping to give you a little bit of update about what the charity's been doing, what I've been doing in my role, and then kind of have a bit of conversation with you all about what you'd like to see over the next year. Does that sound all right? So on your table, you should have a document called a business activity report. It's not as fancy as it looks. It is just essentially a breakdown of what contact we've received on the helpline, and just a little bit of a summary about what we're doing going forward. So as you can see, in the last year, we've had 164 calls on the helpline, which I think is quite incredible. We get a lot of members that call me up, seek advice, and I have quite regular contact with people. And it's quite nice to hear the impact I'm able to have on people's lives and support them. So we do monitor all of our calls and make sure that there are no safeguarding concerns or anything like that. And I like to try and gauge value from what I'm saying to people. So whenever you speak with me on the helpline, I'll always send you a survey at the end, an impact survey, just to see kind of what your experience was like and how I can improve that going forward. Unfortunately though, we aren't very good at shouting about how good we are and all the good things we do. So it'd be really helpful if you do receive that survey, if you can fill it out. It helps me improve the service I give to you, and it helps us kind of share the good work that we're doing as well. So if people put quotes in there or provide some feedback, Alex can share that with other members, and we can share it with our community, and you can become aware of the good work we're doing. So I think I might have sent that survey out to a few of you in the last couple of weeks. So if you have received it, please do fill it out. So in the last year, we initially were holding bi-weekly community support meetings on the Tuesday of every month. I think it was originally the first Tuesday. And we recognised that a lot of our members really got value from those meetings. So off the back of that, we tried to introduce more regular meetings. So we got a lot of feedback that people weren't able to attend on a Tuesday evening for other commitments. So we also now hold a community support meeting on a Friday morning on the 2nd and 4th Friday of every month. At the moment, the community support meetings are kind of structured around what members want to discuss on the day. So the start of the meeting, I normally ask people if there's a particular reason they've come to the meeting, if there's anything they'd like to get out of the meeting. And quite often they turn into just an open discussion. A lot of the members seem to have good rapport with one another. I quite often get to sit back and just help kind of facilitate the meeting, and everyone has a good chat. But as an organisation, we have recognised that there's definitely some areas of need of members that we're not meeting. And we get a lot of queries to do with things like welfare support, people applying for social services like PIP. And a lot of people really struggle to navigate this, the systems. So I have been reaching out to organisations to try and get some support on these Friday morning sessions. So I've been trying to reach out to other charities because we recognise we haven't at the moment got a budget to employ someone to give welfare support or anything like that. So I'm trying to reach out and see if I can get anyone involved in the meetings that can bring some value. And I'm really open to hearing any suggestions anyone has for people to attend the meeting. So we previously worked with a lady called Sue, who's not been able to help us recently, but she provides a lot of support. Like she's a cancer support worker, and she provides services like Reiki, massage therapy, all things like that. And although she joined a few of our sessions, we didn't really get to utilise all of her skills. And since then, I've been really trying hard to find other people to join the sessions. So like I said, I've reached out to charities and tried to get maybe a welfare support or some advice like that. Is there anything particular that anyone in the room would really love to see in these meetings? Is there an area that you feel you're not getting enough support, or you could really do with speaking to someone who understands your situation or have that one-on-one setting? Is there anyone?
We like the returning to work, the access to work. Because that's
Yes.
what we're struggled with. And also, as well, some support around monocular vision as well.
Oh, okay.
Because we sort of discussed this, but maybe how we all struggle, but not we can get somebody in. Sorry.
I think, we should put a mic to you. Sorry, Jack.
I can't remember what I just said.
Access to work.
Oh yeah, access to work. Because I think there's been quite a few of us that have had operations, we've gone back to work, the equipment hasn't been there, and we've gone back off sick, some of us have been through disciplinaries, it's been really tough going back to work. Also as well, just learning about what the cancer hangover is, which I never knew.
Yeah.
So that was really, and I think for new people joining the group, and also like some advice around finances, because I very stupidly cut my hours at work when I went back, and I shouldn't have done. I should have just stayed off sick longer. So just some advice about returning to work, because I know fewer people have cut their hours, and it means that you might not be paying enough national insurance for a pension later on, if we get to pension age, but there's a lot of things that we might miss out by not paying national insurance contributions.
Yeah, certainly. Well, I will explore that, because we have some amazing members as well that have skills. And if any of you have partners, friends, relatives that could bring value to these meetings, like anyone knows a HR business partner or someone like that who would be happy to contribute just an hour of their time on a Friday morning, it could be a one-off, it could be a regular. But I think, certainly maybe someone like a HR advisor would probably help. I think there's a lot of general advice out there, and I find that a lot of our members, when they join these meetings, they have very specific concerns, and I quite often find that people are asking about one very specific applicable thing to them that they can't find the answer for, and that's what I'm trying to facilitate and get you support with. So in the last year, we've also worked hard on facilitating our Facebook forums. So we do recognise that all of our forums are held on Facebook, and it's not necessarily a platform that we control or own. And we have had discussions about how we can bring that in-house, and we're yet to find a suitable alternative. I think some of our members are reluctant to join Facebook, and some people are quite happy to do it on a pseudo profile, or maybe just create a profile just so they can speak to people in our community. And we are aware that it's not an ideal circumstance for everyone, and we're trying to explore other avenues of where we could hold these forums. Hopefully, with our new website going live, there might be some option to facilitate a forum through our website. But again, I'm open to any suggestions if anyone's got any services or chat features that they love and want to use. We also worked on just reforming the Facebook groups. So although we want to keep them as a free space for everyone to be able to speak freely, we still do have to administer the groups and make sure that people are being respectful to one another. And I think as well, we try not to ever hide information from people, but I think some people share experiences that could maybe relate to a personal healthcare professional or a specific hospital. We try to avoid that where possible, but also allow you to kind of share your thoughts on how your experiences have been. So like I said, we reformed all of the groups, just made sure that the rules were clear and that all of the names of the groups represent exactly what they are doing. And there is a little bit of a messy looking graph on page 7 looking at our interactions, and it probably won't mean a great deal to any of you, but we really work on trying to spread our awareness, and a lot of the work Alex is doing at the moment is about kind of shouting about how good we are as a charity, all the work that we do. And so our reach and interactions might not be a great interest to you, but you will see on page 8 that slowly our member engagement and number of followers does continue to increase. So people are becoming more aware of us, and we hope that line will continue to transition in that direction. So I hope my talk, it's not been particularly exciting, but I just wanted to kind of keep you all informed about what we're doing, because at the end of the day, this is your charity. We're here to represent you and do what you guys need. So it's not about how we feel that the best direction is. It's all about how what our community feel is the best direction for us to go in. So I'm really open to suggestions, so if any of you want to grab me at any point today or send me any messages or call the helpline later in the week, I'm always open to suggestions. So if you think something's not working great, please just reach out and let me know. Any questions at all? Right. Thank you very much.
Brilliant, thank you. You got a mic?
I'm going to grab it.
Okay. So I think, yeah, if you do have any ideas of sort of speakers, I know Access to Work, sort of HR, sort of support, that kind of thing. If you do know anybody that would like to join us, and you know, whether it's like a nice a holistic approach, or sort of more in the legal sense and back to work sense, talking to family members. We had a brilliant talk from the Fruit Fly Collective last year. That's on our YouTube channel, about talking to children about cancer and some of the things that children think about. So for anyone with children, grandchildren, nieces, nephews, that kind of thing, that's definitely a talk worth listening to. So we can invite her back as well, to see whether she would join one of our community support meetings. And now with the new website, we can actually advertise things better and and make that a lot more slick. Nicely transition, like pass you over to Alex.
So good morning, everyone. And since then, I've kind of bitten off quite a lot more. But we've been up to a lot since I've come on board, which is absolutely amazing. So when I started, I looked at our fundraising over the last 3 years. And what I wanted to do was understand who our fundraisers are, what they do, why they do it, and more importantly, at least for me, how much they raise. So looking at that, it was really interesting because what I found was our supporters are incredibly passionate about who we are, what we do, and supporting you, our members. And they are incredibly kind of generous with their donations, and they're regular, which was really, really positive. But what I wanted to do was understand what that breakdown is, because within fundraising, we've got many different income streams, whether it be grants and trusts, whether it's events and challenge events, or whether it's memory or many other streams that fall within that. So what I'm keen to do is make sure that all of our fundraising is as diverse as we can make it, because then we're not reliant on just one form of income. And at the moment, is quite heavily reliant on trust and grants. About 50% of our fundraising income comes from trust and grants, and about 90% of the remainder comes from challenge events and fundraising events. So what I've been working on is trying to split that up and make sure that we can grow our income across all areas, meaning that we're not just relying on one or two areas to bring in the majority of our money. Looking at where we were, this year we have actually seen a boost in income in our challenge event income, which is really, really positive. Last year, between April and September, we had about £19,000 coming from challenge events. This year, from April to September, we've seen just over 32,000, which has been absolutely amazing, because that's come from putting the Facebook posts out. You can see me going, "You're interested in running a marathon? Anyone want to jump out the plane?" But the amazing thing is, marathons have been massively popular, which is massively against national trend. Marathons seem to be dying out nationally a little bit, but with Ocular Melanoma UK, people are really keen to do them. We've got at least 12 marathon runners lined up for 2025, which is incredible, and more coming in almost every week. Got another one. Our second most popular event is skydives at the moment, which again is understanding adrenaline events are really popular nationally at the moment. People like to strangely throw themselves off buildings, hopefully tied to a bit of rope, doing that and throwing themselves out of aeroplanes, again, preferably with a parachute. And we've got 11 skydives signed up to happen next month on the 10th of November, which is, again, Colin and his team across partnership doing that. Which is, again, one of the other areas I'm keen to push forward is the corporate bits, and trying to work with people's members' employers, or work with other big companies that we can encourage to support us as a charity of the year, or indeed making one-off donations, because that's where we can link in with their needs to meet corporate social responsibility. We've also got 2 overseas challenges happening in 2025, which is not something that has really been done before for OMUK. So I'm really excited by that, and they're both people that have been referred to us by members, people that have put us in touch with people. So we've got someone swimming in the Arctic Circle next year, and then we've also got somebody climbing to Everest Base Camp, which is absolutely incredible. So to have those overseas challenges as well gives us a huge PR opportunity to say,
sorry,
it's not working.
It's not working as good.
Sorry. It gives us a huge PR opportunity to really say, look, these people are incredible, look at the work they're doing, and this is why, and this is what it's for. So that bringing me on to the other part of now what I do, which is the marketing side. A lot of my time, particularly recently, and anyone that spoke to me yesterday saw me sweating a little bit while we were trying to get the website to go live, has been around the new website and making sure the new website comes online and is working as intended. And we've designed that with kind of 3 main kind of types of people in mind. Obviously, the people wanting to engage with us that haven't engaged with us yet, that need support. Those seeking reliable information about ocular melanoma and any clinical trials or anything that's kind of going on, making sure that the information that we put on there is from a reliable source and is trustworthy. And also people interested in supporting us, so that people that want to fundraise for us. With all 3 target audiences that we've been looking at on there, something I've been really passionate about doing is making sure that no matter what you come onto that website for, you can get that information within 3 or 4 clicks. So you're not sitting there for ages going, well, where do I find this? Or what page is that on? Hopefully you will find the page much more logical and much more straightforward to go through. And the thing that I was most pleased with is the load time is so much quicker. And then as Matt said, I've also been working with testimonials. So been working with Matt to put some questions in, to ask our members to really show what we've been up to across the last 15 years, what the impact of Ocular Melanoma UK is on your lives, and why it's important that we continue what we're doing and we develop what we do, getting your feedback on what we can improve on. Because that can help us in so many ways, whether it is through a trust or grant application, or whether it's, and in my opinion, more importantly, putting it on the website so people that are maybe hesitant to talk to us can get a real life story about the impact and the change that we can make as a charity. It will help inspire them to actually go, okay, no, we do need to reach out to these guys and maybe they are going to make a positive impact. And that will help turn things around, because one of the things we have heard in that testimonial is that initial kind of contact to Ocular Melanoma UK can be quite daunting. That can be a bit of a challenge to actually push send on the email to reach out to us. So if we can have members' stories on the website, which gives that reassurance that actually it's a good option, it makes sense, and we're pretty friendly really, we don't bite, then hopefully that will help others to make that step and talk to us. And finally, I've also been working with Joe on our volunteering and looking at what volunteers we have, how we can engage with our volunteers, and what we can do to better support our volunteers. So we've recently started a monthly call that we'll have with volunteers, because we were talking about how we talk to volunteers, and I said, well, a newsletter, they're just going to get it in their emails, and it's just another email. But we said, well, what we could do, which is more in line with how we operate with things like the community support meetings, is have a call on a regular basis which volunteers can join into, ask the questions, have a bit of personal contact with us, and we can make sure that they're supported, have the information they need, and we can make sure that we're all moving in the same direction. So if you are interested in joining any of those calls, it is open to people that either do volunteer with us or are interested in volunteering with us. Feel free to come and grab me at any point and I can share the details of that. So fundraising, testimonials and volunteering, and obviously the marketing side of things as well, have been what's keeping me busy predominantly over the last 4 months, but there's been lots more kind of mixed in among that. But if you do know anyone that would be interested in doing anything for us, please let us know. What I would caveat that with is I'm very passionate that I don't want our members to be a fundraising audience. We're here to support you. You're not here to support us. But if you do know people in your family or your friends or your co-workers you think might be interested in doing something, then I'd love to kind of have an introduction to them. With the testimonials, if you're willing to share your story and you're happy to have a conversation with us, please do let me know or let Matt know, because we'd love to arrange some time to have a chat with you. And that will just help us, again, fill out that website and build a bit of a library of information that proves the work we do. And again, with volunteering, if you know anyone that would be happy to share some time to help us with what we need to do, it could be something as simple as looking after a collection tin and collecting it every couple of months. That would be really beneficial. But other than that, if anyone's got any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. Or if anyone's got any ideas of what we could do, then I'm always available. And Ocular Melanoma October.
Was also added to that list of things to do within the last 4 months. So we had a meeting. So next October, we're hoping to partner up with at least one pharmaceutical company who wants to sort of raise the profile of this condition. So they mentioned it, and we want to invite other companies to do some work with us around that campaign as well, just to sort of highlight a lot of the things that people experience, bring that sort of community together, raise the awareness up. Alex and Matt both work part-time, so it was the next day was supposed to be Alex's day off, and he came to me with this campaign that he'd just sort of thing. It's just, oh yeah, something I've knocked up today. So yeah, Ocular Melanoma October has been launched very quickly just for this year. Next year you'll hear a lot more about it, but I think he's done an incredible job pulling that together
reach
very
has
quickly.
been incredible. I mean, Matt was talking about our social media reach, and it's been steadily growing naturally. And then I think when you looked at our kind of post reach, it went as high as 14,000 on one of the posts.
Wow.
For Ocular Melanoma October, which has been absolutely incredible, because that's the primary point of it this year, is just to get the word out. Because where we've got next year, we have secured some funding for a bigger campaign. Hopefully this one will just kind of lay the groundwork and set the tone.
Yeah, so if any of you have shared posts, liked posts, all that kind of stuff, that's all helped and you know, helped us reach 14,000 people. That's absolutely insane. Just because, you know, the first thing that people, I didn't know that you get ocular melanoma. You know, you can get a melanoma in your eye. I think probably everyone's sort of heard that back from them, and now all of those people would have heard about this condition. The other thing that we will kind of probably touch more on at the AGM is something that we'd like to do with employers to encourage those to take a bit more of an active approach. So more about the earlier diagnosis work and things like that. So yeah, watch this space.